Hi friends, David here from Above AVL, and I'm really excited. In this video, it's actually going to be a series because we are talking all about how to mix, like from A to Z. If you've mixed audio before, if you haven't, if you're good at mixing audio, if you're not, that's exactly what we're going to dive into, starting with probably the keystone to every mix, whether it's worship music like we're listening to here, or whether it's a rock show or a corporate event. The vocals matter, they matter a lot. Let's take a look at how to make them sound good. Let's dive in. So vocals, they really are the keystone to any mix, whether they sit way on top like a contemporary worship mix, or whether they kind of sit nestled in with the lead melody instruments. Getting clear vocals matters because I think in music, ultimately, we're all humans and we connect with other humans, and speaking, singing is like really probably one of the biggest keys to making sure your mix makes sense. Because as they say, nobody goes home humming the kick drum. Now, they might go home humming the melody line, should be played with a guitar, but regardless, what we're going to do is we're playing with some great multi-tracks here from Wesley on my team, his old church. They let us use these tracks from a Sunday morning, and we're going to take a listen and see how good we can make these tracks sound. In this video, we're talking all about the vocals. So what I'm going to do first is I've got everything up. Okay, so I've brought in 16 channels here on the Yamaha DM3 that we're mixing with today, but this will work with any mixer. And I've got the tablet here, which is key to really see things a lot better. So to begin, let's just go ahead with all of our channels here. We've got a good part of a band. We've got 16 channels, got all the major stuff. And let's go ahead and just give it a listen with everything at zero, basically everything at the same level across the whole console.
Consider how to respond to the call of this vision. You're the great I am. You have risen from the grave. You are full of mercy. You are.
So we're not starting off at a bad place in our mix, but the vocals are definitely a little bit buried under everything else. And there's definitely, especially on our male vocals, some clarity issues going on here that if we really clean it up, we can make it so that the vocals are clear and the instruments sound amazing too. So to begin, we're just going to go ahead and I'm just going to listen to just the vocals. So we're going to turn everything else off and give it a listen with just our vocals. So back to the start here.
I call you maker. You give life an eternal spark. I call you healer.
Now, before we get too into it, a couple things I want to note. Number one is a lot of people kind of poo-poo the Yamaha TF mixers, and the DM3 has some of these same functionalities, but I kind of like these one knob EQs that exist in these consoles. I know, call me crazy, and it's like, it feels like such a newbie thing, but I know that in my church, I work with people that are not professional mixers. They don't have tons of experience. And honestly, it would help a lot to have a functionality like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I just want to build some clarity. So I know I need to bring in the high pass, okay, which it's not letting me do on one knob EQ. But then I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my one knob EQ, set it to vocal. And then start cranking it up. You can see it. We mostly have the tablet here because the screen's a lot easier to see. And you can see if I crank this up all the way, I essentially get, if you've mixed a lot, a really good generic vocal EQ. Where, as I dial it in, first we start with high passing, then we bring it in more, and then we bring it in more. And we kind of first do a little presence boost, as we call up high, and then if you go up more, it switches it down low to the vocal clarity. So let's give it a listen as we do these, and then we're able to actually kick out of it and adjust it manually if we need to.
You can mend any broken heart. I call you faithful Father. You finish everything you start. My soul was made to respond know you by 1,000 names, and you deserve every single word. You've given me a million ways.
So now I'm just gonna go.
Be amazed.
I'm just gonna go to some of the other vocalists and start to bring in their EQ a little bit.
At what you've done, and I am lost in wonder at all.
To you, yeah. Your love is boundless, beyond what I could dream. Your grace is patient. The grave, full of mercy, you are rich in love, you are Jesus.
And so I hope you could start to hear what's going on there with those four vocalists as I just popped through them quick, and just with the preset here in the Yamaha, which is, you know, a very typical vocal EQ. It's literally just, okay, high passing it up to 100, 150, maybe a little higher. And high pass is going to be one of those things that, depending on your console, the steepness of the high pass filter is going to vary. So you might find, like, for example, I'm saying 120, 150. In my mind, Yamaha has a kind of shallow high pass, which means I typically set it higher than I might on other consoles. Like at my church, we have a PreSonus. Both are great consoles. Both have their pros and cons. I find the PreSonus is a steeper high pass. So it's just something to be aware of. You know, we start with a high pass. Then we're kind of doing a cut in the low mid range, about 300 there, which can really help just cut out a lot of thickness. It can be really good presence, really good just, you know, depth to a vocal, but oftentimes it causes them to get lost. And then on folks like our worship leader, I am probably, being that he's male, going to end up doing a little boost somewhere in here. So let's listen to them all together.
Jesus, Messiah, the one true God. I know you by 1,000 names, and you deserve every single one. You've given me so many ways to be amazed at what you've done. I know you by 1,000 names.
All right, so I'm just going to let that hang out at about 3.5K as a boost there, along with the other cuts I'm making. And again, that's one of those things I really do love about Yamaha's desks, particularly the DM and TF. I'm not sure which other ones have it, but the DM3 and the TFs have the one knob EQ, and it's like, it's just so stinking easy, and it gets you there, and then you can dump out of it and modify it to exactly what you need. But I think you can hear there, we get things a lot more clear just with some basic EQ. Now, what do we do next on vocals? Next, I like to do, you may have heard this gentleman who's singing, there's a little bit of unevenness to his voice. And on our background vocalists, we hear a lot of noise when they're not singing. So first, let's deal with the first, which is a gate and then a compressor. So a gate just opens and closes the mic when there's sound or not. What I love about modern gates is that they often have a range, okay? So the beautiful thing about this, having a range control, is back in the old days when you just had like some DBX gates, you know, compressor, limiter, gate, whatever. Gate was just a level. And so that meant when it wasn't at that level, it was just turning it all the way down. Range helps us so much, because the problem with the gate that just shoves it to zero is that sometimes you hear that gate opening and closing where the sound gets quieter, 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 and poof, you know, quieter, 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 poof. If you can set that range, like a lot of times on stuff like vocals, you know, things that aren't like super percussive like a drum or like a loud electric guitar that you're just cutting out some stage noise of, those allow you to just set a gate where it's not pushing it down all the way. But, you know, even, let's just say, you know, 6 dB. Even just getting 6 dB of reduction when this person's not singing is really big, because now that's saying, okay, all the noise around stage, and this church has a pretty well controlled stage, but acoustically the room's not mind-blowing. So there's stuff, and a lot of times in rooms, especially smaller rooms, but big rooms too, you'll just accumulate on stage low mid stuff and low stuff that's just hanging out there, and it's everything interacting with each other. And just being able to push that all down 6 dB on individual channels when they're not being used helps your clarity a good bit. Okay, so let's have a listen. I'm going to mess with the gate. Then we're going to go to compression, which is going to allow us to, turning that on, to basically just even it out so that when he's really loud, he's not overly loud. When he's quieter, he's not disappearing, because a compressor is pushing down. When you hit a certain level, it starts pushing down. We'll see that in the GR, or gain reduction, over here. And it just helps reduce the level of dynamics. It's, you know, you don't want things to be over compressed, but certainly a reasonable level of compression can be really helpful. So let's take a look here.
And you deserve every single one. You've given me a million ways to be amazed at what you've done, and I am lost in wonder at all you do. I know you by 1,000 names, and I'll sing them back to you, yeah. Amen. He deserves our praise. Defeated, you have our hearts adore. Defeated, you have risen from the grave. You are full of mercy. You are rich in love. You are Jesus, Messiah, the one true God. I know you by 1,000 names, and you deserve every single one. You've given me so many ways to be amazed at what you've done. I know you by 1,000 names, and you deserve every single one. You've given me a million ways to be amazed.
All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead. I just copied that compressor, and I'm literally just going to pop it over to the next few vocals and paste it up, and then pop over to the gate on all of them and just do a really quick look at everybody.
What you've done, and I am lost in wonder at all you do. I know you by 1,000 names, and I'll sing them back to you, yeah. Amen. He deserves our praise.
All right, let's get those adjusted. Let's go back and listen to that section again.
Maker, you give life an eternal spark. I call you healer. You can mend any broken heart. I call you faithful. You do. I know you by 1,000 names, and I sing them back to you, yeah.
So from where we started, that is a lot more clear and a lot more cohesive. So what I'm going to do as we land the plane here is I want to bring everything in and then just do a quick reverb just to give it a little more space. Because first, I'm always going for clarity. Second, I'm going for space, right? Okay, so give it a listen. Everything back at 0 like we had done before.
Your love is boundless. Beyond what I could dream, your grace is patient.
So trying to hide a little bit behind some of the other instrumentation.
Never giving up on me. I call you bondage breaker. 'Cause you're handing out the prison keys. My soul is made, yeah, yeah, to be free. Oh, I know you by 1,000 names,
All right, so really quick, just gonna go and add in, I'm just pulling up a preset. I'm gonna do, let's try this HD plate. I always like a vocal plate. We're gonna see what we think about it. And then in this mixer, we're gonna remember where it is. All right, so tap it on the side of the tablet here on this particular mixer. And then I like to take my lead vocal and put them less in the reverb than my backing vocals so that the lead vocal is the most clear. Let's give it a listen.
Sing her back to you.
All right, so what I have done there, just quick and dirty, is pulled in the vocals, dropped them on the reverb, gone ahead, I EQ'd. I know you can't see it. I think, how do I go find it on the tablet? Go here. I admit I have not spent as much time on this mixer as others, but I EQ'd. I just kind of high passed it a little, pulled some of the lows out of the EQ to make it a little more thin. Made it to the point where it was adding some depth to the vocals, but not overwhelming them. Of course, played it loud while I was adjusting it, so it was overcompensating, but now it's...
Rushing harder, you will make the way. You are dead, defeated. You have risen from the grave. You are full of mercy. You are rich in love. You are Jesus, Messiah, the one true God. I know you by 1,000 names.
And there you have it. So there, we've got in just, a few minutes, really dialed in our vocals, got them sounding really good, a lot better than where we started. And so if you're new here, definitely subscribe here to our channel and then hit the next video. If it's out, it'll be in the playlist. It'll be below as well. If it's not out yet, it'll be coming real soon, where we're going to be talking about different types of instruments, how to mix them together with the drums, bring it all together into one, and really within just, an hour of your time, help you learn to mix better. If that's good, then hang on here. And if you need gear, you're mixing, you're at your church, you're mixing for bands, whatever you're doing, and you need gear, then Above AVL.com is your place to get it. Whether you're looking for sound systems, lighting, we've got the friendly, knowledgeable folks who love to help you. We've got all the gear, all the brands, audio, video, and lighting. You can always just head over to our site, shoot us an email, we'll put that on the screen, and we'd love to help you find what you're looking for next time you need some gear. We'll see you there. Have a great day. Thanks.